You know, in the Premier League, sometimes just one single result can feel like it changes absolutely everything. And after a massive derby win, Manchester United fans are all asking the same thing. Was this a real resurrection for a team that's been struggling, or was it just another false dawn? Let's get into the source material and break it all down.
The source material drops us right into the thick of it with this line. You can almost feel it, right? This wasn't just a cheer for a goal. It was this huge collective release of frustration and hope, a moment that clearly felt like way more than just another football match. Okay, so to really get why that roar was so massive, you've got to understand the context. I mean, leading up to this game, the source paints a picture of a club that was, well, completely lost at sea. They'd been dumped out of the FA Cup, their manager had just been let go, and the whole team was stuck in this demoralizing cycle of losing or drawing. The source even says the players looked lost and out of place on the pitch. I mean, that's hardly what you expect to hear about one of the biggest clubs in the world.
But then came Derby Day. And against their biggest, fiercest rivals, the author frames this game as something much bigger. This wasn't just a match. It was a potential turning point, a moment where everything could finally change.
And the final score? A really decisive 2-0 win. Look, beating Manchester City is always a huge deal, but to do it so convincingly, without them even scoring a goal, yeah, that sent a powerful message to the rest of the league.
Now, what's so interesting here is the language the source uses. This wasn't some narrow, lucky victory. No way. The author says United absolutely battered their opponents, that City had no chance to recover. This was just pure dominant.
So, this brings us to the crucial point. The source argues this win meant something so much deeper than just getting 3 points. It hinted that maybe, just maybe, the club's very soul, its core identity that so many people felt was gone, was finally coming back.
So what exactly is the United Way? Well, it's not a tactic or a formation. It's a mentality. It's a throwback to that legendary Sir Alex Ferguson era. And it's all about relentless intent, drive, and just that overwhelming will to win.
And you can see the contrast right here. The source suggests that previous managers tried to force their own systems on the team, and it just left everyone looking confused. But the interim manager, Michael Carrick, a former player himself, he just gets it. He understands the United way and was able to bring back that classic fighting spirit.
And this win, it wasn't just for the fans in the stadium. According to the source, it was a message to every single critic and rival out there. A clear announcement to the haters, you may be down, but you are not out. Just a pure statement of defiance.
But just as we're all getting swept up in this amazing comeback story, the source kind of pulls us back to reality. It shifts to the one huge question that hangs over this whole performance. Can it actually last?
The author brings in a healthy dose of skepticism here, pointing to that classic phenomenon of the manager bounce. You know, that short-term boost a team almost always gets right after a new boss comes in?
And that really gets to the heart of the dilemma here. Is this performance the start of a real, long-term turnaround for the club, or is it just a temporary fix, a quick high before the team slips back into its old, inconsistent ways?
Well, the narrative immediately sets the stage for the real test. And the source suggests the answer is coming very soon, in their very next match. And it's a big one. A clash against an Arsenal team that's been absolutely flying. So we're left with this one last, tantalizing question. Confidence has to be soaring after that incredible derby win. So, will they do it again? The answer to that will probably tell us everything we need to know about whether this was the start of a true resurrection or just one more brilliant, fleeting moment.